Hey guys, it's the Wasteland Girl Detective, and if you can't tell, I have a cold, so bear with me. This week I am talking carnivore endurance food buffs. With the introduction of raids in Fallout 76, people seem to be more interested in this, and they should be. Without getting too much into it, endurance helps you stay vertical, affects AP drain, so it makes sense that it would be useful for raids. I'm going to talk about what I consider to be the top food buffs. They provide the highest boost. We'll look at the ingredients and where to find them, with the exception of wood and boiled water. Those are basic crafting components, and I've covered them in another video, including recipes, serum, and some of the other basic food crafting information. I will link one of those videos where I cover it in the description. So we're going to look at aged Mirelurk Queen steak. Maybe I got that in the right order. Dog meat steak. If you can read the tiny printing at the bottom, they provide their buffs for 1 hour. Usually the most complex recipes provide the longest duration, usually. And then what I don't have clipped here is also roast Scorchedbeast heart. That one's real simple, but it only lasts for half an hour. And then I have one at the very end. It is the simplest one. If you want to skip to that, just go to the timestamp that says simplest food buff. Otherwise, we're going to start off with dog meat steak. So we need mongrel meat, mutfruit, salt, wood, and boiled water. Let's head to Sylvie and Sons logging camp. And before I start hunting, I'm going to make sure that I have Butcher's Bounty equipped, and also green thumb because I'll be looking for mutfruit later, which is a plant. You can also read Backwoodsman 1 for more meat from your kills. I'm not going to because I usually save that for Scorchedbeast. So you can find anywhere from like 3 to quite a few mongrels at this location. And then you can also go to Big Bend Tunnel East, pop in there, and you can find quite a few in here. I feel like you used to be able to find more at this location. They're also usually glowing, or always glowing. So if you need a glowing creature for your daily, it's a good place to go. Next ingredient on our list is mutfruit. Lewis and Son Farming Supplies. I can't remember if I said that right. This is one of my go-to locations, especially if I'm all out of plants and I need to start a new farm, which is really the best idea. Is create a farm and then you can just harvest your own farm plants. I don't know. Anyways, Lewis and Son has a bunch of different plants, including mutfruit. So with the green thumb equipped, I will get more out of this. And then in the garden out here as well, there are a few others. If you want more, or say you don't want to create a farm at your camp, which is totally valid, you can head on over to Flatwoods, and there are more bushes over here. So there's a couple here, and then if we just head over, that's silt bean if you need silt bean ever. And then there's a few more here, and then there's a farm. There is also one other bush if you go over to where the red rocket is. There's a farm behind that, and there's 2 there that I somehow forgot to hit. You can also go west of Mama Dolce's. There are more plants there as well. There's there's mutfruit all over the place. These are just the locations I like to farm. But I also have a little one garden planted at my current camp. Next, we're going to look for salt. Salt you can find everywhere. Helvetia is a good spot, but honestly, go into any settlement, go to any house, any restaurant, and usually you can find some salt there. If you're out and you're not even looking for salt and you see it, I would suggest grabbing it anyways. Then you have it on hand. Here you just have to contend with the scorch. There's quite a few. If you notice, I've taken the explosive mod off of this handmade, so everything doesn't go flying all over the place. There can be quite a few in here this run. Ooh, I also grabbed sugar and grabbed pepper. If you see pepper, sugar, salt, spices in the wild, just grab them. It's just nice to have and not to have to go and farm them constantly. So on these tables, yeah, I've just been hitting these quite a bit lately, so. Oh, is that vodka? Yeah, grab some vodka. I'm going to do a video where you're going to need vodka probably in the next week. There's spices, sugar. I don't actually think any salt spawns in the kitchen, but I just like to pick up those little condiment crafting things. I don't know. Then out onto the street and just deal with some more scorched. Yeah, lots of scorched here. So over in here, after we deal with these guys, then we can go find some more here, just in the back corner. There's some salt and pepper. And then if we go into the honey house on one of these shelves, there's some more salt. There's actually some cool items on these little shelves that you can collect. There's some spices. Yeah. You can also go to White Spring Golf Club. There's quite a few salt there as well. You can visit the vendors at the White Spring. They often have salt on them. And then my last location that I usually go to is Lost Home, because I'm always looking for the scab trader there. There's some odd boxes that spawn there, some bobbleheads, some magazines, and salt and pepper. And that's all the ingredients besides boiled water and wood that you need for dog meat steak. So we're going to move on to aged Mirelurk Queen steak. So we're going to need Mirelurk eggs, queen meat, obviously salt, boiled water, and wood. I'm not going to go over salt again because we already have some. So if you go to Ohio River Adventures, pardon me in my croaky voice, you can find clutches or nests of Mirelurk eggs, both to the kind of north and south. So here's a clutch right here. And if we just go back to the spawn point for Ohio River Adventures, then I'll show you the other area. There's a couple nests this way. You have to be a little bit careful around the nests. If you shoot around the nests, you might not be able to harvest eggs from them. And obviously, sometimes those little guys burst out of them, which is fun. We're also going to travel to Highland Marsh in the mire, and there are more there, as well as a Mirelurk Queen. Jeez, I blanked for a second. And you can kind of see that Mirelurk Queen there. Yeah, so we're going to try and grab some eggs and not shoot anything right away. There's also a bunch of Mirelurks hanging around too, so they seem pretty chill. Have not seen me yet. Yeah, okay, so there's some bursting, and as you can see, that Mirelurk King is getting a little upsetty. But yeah, good spot for eggs and Mirelurk Queen meat. Queen Mirelurk meat? Anyways. Now, if you're looking for more Mirelurk Queen meat, you can head to Quarry X03 in the Cranberry Bog. And there she is in all her Mirelurk Queen glory. If you want a few more locations, Max Farm, of course. I like to go there for cranberries. I actually don't like to go there for cranberries, but you can. Sunrise Field, Heart of the Swamp. Sometimes there's a Mirelurk Queen there. So lots of locations. Last recipe we're going to cover is roast Scorchedbeast heart. Now, again, this buff still gives you the same as dog meat steak and the Mirelurk Queen steak. However, it only lasts half an hour. But it only takes one ingredient. But you have to count on finding Scorchedbeast heart. So it's up to you. This is one of the locations behind Vault 96. There's a nest there. And then there's 2 Scorchedbeasts here. And sometimes they have stuff on them. Today, they do not have what I need. You can also head over to Watoga, to the Civic Center. And after you deal with some of these super mutants, there is a nest. We'll just do this real quick. Yeah, and there's the nest right there. After I leave the body, of course. So that's a liver. Still useful. Honestly, all the Scorchedbeast organ meat is. And a lung. Next we hit the Watoga Municipal Center. And after you speed run through the whole entire building, you come up here and there's more Scorchedbeast nests. So, ooh, brains. Of course, I'm not looking for brains right now. There's a heart. So you just kind of have to look around on the ground. There are quite a few nests there, so you just kind of have to look around. And of course, you can go to the fisher sites and farm Scorchedbeast there for their parts. Then you can go back to your camp and you can cook everything up. Make sure you put Super Duper on, which is a perk under the luck category. And there you have it. And after you've done all that farming, I'm gonna tell you the easiest thing that you can do, and that is go to your pemmican collector if you have one. I believe it was on is it the previous scoreboard, battle pass, whatever you wanna call it. And you can get pemmican, and it provides that high endurance buff for an hour. It is a lot easier. However, I don't know, if you're gonna craft the recipes, you can gain XP doing that as well. When you craft, you also get a little bit of XP. So it's up to you. I do both. I get pemmican and I sometimes craft the recipes as well. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have any comments, anything that you would like to add, also drop them in the comments. I'm now on vacation over the Christmas break, so I'm hoping to drop a few more videos. It has been a much busier Christmas season than I anticipated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.